The Huskers right there at half court, tall guy with gray hair. We're happy to add him to the roster. We think he'll help a little bit. Needs work on his conditioning, but Mr. Hoppen, I think, can help the program.
Are you going to revoke Tanner's scholarship now that Dave?
No, he's a walk-on. That's what we like about him. He's got money.
Are his knees okay though?
Don't worry about it. We're not worried about the health and welfare of our student athletes, or especially the older ones.
Is it weird coming back from break and still having a non-conference game?
Yeah, a little bit, because we've had that change in schedule, but you've been through it enough years. You go through a little bit of everything, and so, our guys definitely, have talked more about league play, watching the Big East openers last night, and just the whole thing, like whether Butler or Georgetown was a good game or a bad game or well played or not, just you name it. So you can tell the guys are getting excited to play.
Mm-hmm. After that 4-game stretch, has it been tough to regain the focus coming back to these smaller schools?
I think that more than anything, when you look at the 4-game stretch and you add, the week before finals is really a difficult week. They have all kinds of projects and assignments due, and then you've got your finals. And so after those 2 weeks, plus the basketball stress of those games, there's no doubt there's some need for recharge. So it was good to get the guys home. The same way every time. Some guys come back home and they come back more ready and great, and sometimes they come back worse. And that's what some of our guys are doing. So we're getting the turkey out of those guys that need it out of them, and just keeping the other guys on the right in the right frame of mind and going hard.
Tim, we obviously talked before the season about 3-point shooting. What's kind of your report card at this point of how this team has kind of resolved that issue? You've definitely made improvement. It's kind of a multi-layered way to do it.
Yeah.
What have you seen?
We have more people that can shoot it. I think that's helped in our number of makes. Our percentage isn't quite where I want it to be. It's about the Division I average, but we want to be above average. Part of that's some of our high volume guys are not shooting it quite as well. Now James is making a comeback.
Right.
But Glenn is, 41% shooter last year, not quite there this year. It's a different rhythm too. When you take most of them, you and maybe another guy take most of them last year. Now you're maybe the third option. It's different. So that's an adjustment he's making. But he doesn't take bad shots, so we just got to get him there.
Anton's been a real plus in that
Anton's
category.
been a very a good shooter. Isaac's gotten better. James has gotten better. So Tom's getting better. So I feel encouraged, but I don't think it's anything we're going to rely on at this point in time to say, boys, let's get about 35 threes up there and see if we win. But I also know that that's a weapon that we need.
With Evan and Anton, is there improvements in just putting time in the gym?
No doubt. Especially Evan. Anton's always been in the gym, and in rehab. But Evan has really done a good job just concentrating on the step in, what we call 1-2 threes, and especially in the corner, he's shooting those well. And defensively, I think we've done a very good job at taking away the amount of 3-point attempts. And we've got the length and athleticism to do it, but that puts you at a disadvantage rebounding, puts you at a disadvantage fouling. But, again, that's something that I think we're willing to give up, and something that as we adjust, we need to just get a little better at every game out.
After the last 2 practices, would you say there's a couple guys that benefited most from the break?
Coach Lewis, Coach Molinari, probably. I think they both gained about 6 pounds, so I think they did just fine. I think the guys came back ready to go. I was really encouraged by our practice on our first night back, whatever day that was, and then yesterday wasn't as good. Then today was much better.
How's Jordy looking right now?
He's looking all right. Yeah, I'm excited to get him on the floor. Got to get him some easy shots.
You surprised with how good Anton's been this year? I'm sure you expected improvement. Do you expect him to do what he's done?
When Anton's legs look fresh, I always have great confidence in him. There's times he's been out there and looked a little tired, and that's when I worry about him. But if he looks fresh, the idea, I think, is we keep him fresh.
Yeah. Have you really had to be aggressive with managing his minutes at all, or how kind of
practice minutes more than game minutes? They're so amped up for the games. It's usually the practice and the wear and tear and the stuff that goes with it that you got to manage, I think. Anything else? Santa good to everybody?
Oh, yeah.
Anybody wearing their new stuff?
I don't think so. Just new.
That's not new? No, nobody got enough new